second trip of the year. Skipped all the highway crap. Well, I didn't skip all the highway crap. I skipped recording all the highway crap. Govan Lake. Once again, plans changed. It was originally going to be Forrest coming up here with me for a few days, and long ago, Julie coming up for the last few days, but Julie bailed out fairly early, had some issues with getting time off work and stuff, and Forrest messed up a flight date, so he actually is flying to Calgary tomorrow, so he's not coming. It's a solo trip. Could be till Saturday. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Kind of what I thought. I mean, when you talk about traffic through here, there's never a lot, but Sunday, locals out having fun because they're not at work. The people that are leaving should have been gone already. I think you have to vacate the sites by noon, I believe. But the last time I came out here with Forrest was just for a weekend. Somehow I have more leftover space in my bag and panniers than I did for the weekend, and I'm going for a week, so I'm not sure how that works out. I'm not sure if I forgot anything. But what I am excited about is because there was so much space left, I was actually able to fit 4 beers and some ice in a dry bag in one of the panniers. So I might actually have a cold beer when we get to Govan in a few minutes. Wouldn't that be amazing? See if we have any hooligan ATVers on the site. Here we be. What? I might like this, I'm not sure. Second fire pit, huh? Okay, well. And I'm going to have to scrounge all my firewood. You know, I feel like Granite Lake, there's usually some firewood somebody has left. Govan, never. Anyway, I'm pretty warm. Could use a beer. Let's see if they're cold. Coldish, maybe. Cold enough. They're cool. They're not cold. So we're going to have one of those. And then we're going to relax, set up camp, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, so back again at Govan Lake. I figured this would probably be a great opportunity to just show you guys the stuff I use when I go camping. This one has ended up being a solo trip. If there's someone else coming up either at the beginning of the trip or later in the trip, I may have them bring some of my stuff with me, or have some of them take some of my stuff home, just because that way I can bring more and it's a little easier to pack. This time, however, I seem to pack fairly well. We'll see how the week goes. But I actually had enough space left over to fit a few beers this time, so that's good. But we'll start with the bike, because I mean the first thing I got to do is get up here. So my bike of choice is a 2017 KTM 690 Enduro R. It's the third dual sport I've owned. I've also had a KLR 650 and a KLX 250 with a 350 Bill Blue engine upgrade in it. I bought this one about 4 years ago now, I think, and it's the first bike that I haven't found an issue with or something I didn't like about it within 2 years and replaced. So it is definitely my weapon of choice, we'll say, for doing this. I love the bike. I was never a KTM fan. I wouldn't say I'm a KTM fan right now. I do like what they've done with this bike. I've never ridden any other bike, but I'm definitely hanging on to it for a while. The stuff I use to get everything up here, as you can see, because we're kind of staring at it right now, is by Moto. I've got 2 of their 25-liter backcountry panniers and a 30-liter backcountry duffel and a 12-liter backpack. So I fit everything I need in here. If I had to go into town later to set stuff or to resupply, then I can do that. But I think I might actually be okay for the week here with everything I've brought. The first thing I do when I get to the site is I get off the bike, kind of check out the site, which I've already done. Matter of fact, I've been here for probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours or something like that. And the site was left nice and clean for me. I set up a chair, had a beer, relaxed for a bit. It took me about 6 hours to get up here. So by the time I'm here, 6 hours on the bike, mostly highway and road, I'm ready to take a bit of a breather for sure. So I basically just sat in that chair for a little while, sipping on a beer, and now we're ready to set up camp. So we'll start unpacking all the stuff that's on the bike and set it up, and yeah, continue on. I'm gonna have to cook dinner at some point tonight. I got to get firewood. I did bring about 5 liters of water with me, which means I won't have to filter water tonight. Maybe not tomorrow. At some point I'll have to do that, but we'll get to that later if I need to. I also, because cell service is very spotty out here, there's none on the site, but one of the things that I do bring is a Garmin InReach Mini. This actually has just proven very useful because apparently shortly after I left, our washing machine at home overflowed and flooded part of the basement, and Julie was able to get in touch with me and we kind of got it sorted out for now. So she's not panicking anymore, and I have figured out that I don't need to go home early and save her. So let's start setting up camp. Of course, if you're going to be spending some time out here, you need shelter. So the shelter I use is a tent. It's the only thing that'll fit on the bike. The tent that I use is an MSR Elixir 1. I've had it for a few years now, very happy with it. I think the only thing that I might change is I might get a 2-man if this one ever dies or leaks or I get really tired of it or whatever. When I purchased this, I was really trying to cut down on my pack size. So I bought basically the smallest tent that I figured I could put up with, which actually I had a Eureka Solitaire, which was almost a bivy tent. That was too small. So I went up to this. It's got enough in there for me and some of my stuff. It's easy to set up, not very big, but whatever. I'm just sleeping in there anyway. But like I said, if I was to do it again, I think I would probably get a 2-man. The increase in pack size from this one to the 2-person tent is not that big. I'm pretty sure I could get away with it, but I can't justify spending all that money on a new tent when I'm getting by with this one just fine. So we're gonna keep this one around for a little while longer. So that's the tent. Now we have to fill the tent up with all the stuff I'm gonna sleep on. And the first layer is the sleeping pad. I have a Vectair LT made by Mountain Equipment Company. Used to be called Mountain Equipment Co-op. They got bought out. They're not a co-op anymore. We just call them MEC anyway, so that can stay the same. A 1-person sleeping pad, obviously for a 1-person tent. I mean, you're not gonna fit a 2-person sleeping pad in here, guaranteed. But what I'm gonna do first is fill it up. Now this does come with this bag. The other one that I had, the old one that I had, you basically used your mouth to blow it up, and after a few years of doing that, I feel like it was getting kind of gross inside. So I bought this one, which has this handy bag, which you can basically you just fill up with air, roll it down, and it forces the bag into the sleeping pad itself. However, Forrest was kind enough to purchase for me for Christmas or my birthday or something like that one year, a pump. It's a really tiny rechargeable pump made by Flextail. It works more than well enough for what I need to do. The only thing that I hate is I always complain that especially when we're at provincial parks, you hear everybody blowing up their air mattresses, that high-pitched whine. Yeah, now I get to do it out here too. And that is the sleeping pad taken care of. So next is the sleeping bag. When you're looking for sleeping bags, they'll give you like a temperature rating. So this one is good for down to +9 Celsius. It's going to be way warmer than that out here in the evening. So this is the one I brought. I do have another colder weather sleeping bag that's down, good for -9. I'll use that in the kind of the shoulder seasons, but this one will be great for tonight. Another layer of cushion because I'm old and sleeping on the ground isn't all that awesome anymore. And one of the things that goes with this that I do bring every time actually is a sleeping bag liner. It's basically just like a really thin kind of, well, it's sort of like another sleeping bag that you can climb into. The reason I bring it in the summer is that if it gets too hot, what I'll do is I'll leave the sleeping bag open and I'll just sleep in this liner itself. Another thing it does is in the winter, or those shoulder seasons that I mentioned earlier, if it does get cold out, then this kind of gives you another little layer, a little more insulation, keeps you a little bit warmer. You can put up with slightly colder temperatures. Lay that in here for now. And then next I need somewhere to put my head, right? So we're gonna grab the pillow. So here's the pillow. Once again, inflatable, much like the sleeping pad. That really helps on pack size. The key is to not put too much air in it so it's not rock hard. I could use the pump for this one as well, but not gonna. And that is the pillow. And that is pretty much it for the shelter, really. I did add a little bit of a lantern there, solar charged, or solar powered, it's rechargeable. A BioLite, big fan of that. Small, light, works well, pretty basic. Yeah, so we've got the chair, we've got the shelter. I'm gonna put some tarps up over there, but probably not tonight. It's supposed to be a really clear night tonight and next night. Not supposed to get any rain till like Wednesday. Wind can be a bit of an issue here sometimes though, just being out on a bit of a peninsula. So I'll probably set that up tomorrow morning. I just don't feel like doing it right now, to be honest. And on to the next thing. Gonna have to get some wood eventually. Speaking of firewood, need something to cut down some firewood with. So I use a folding saw. I wasn't sure how I would like it. So it's a fairly cheap Coglins one. I will probably upgrade to something a little sturdier because it does work well, but I feel like it's kind of on borrowed time. It's only going to do so much before this blade snaps. There we go. And I've already spotted some fallen trees over there. We're gonna go cut a chunk off. So it's been a few hours. I got the wood pretty much ready to go. So I've got it broken up into sections, sort of. I batoned some for kindling. I've got some pieces, medium-sized pieces, a couple of larger logs, some twigs and sticks and stuff. Almost time for dinner. It's 6 o'clock. I don't feel like doing a whole lot of dishes and stuff tonight. So we are going to have a Happy Yak chicken and egg noodles. Basically, I'm going to eat this right out of the bag. I'm going to just boil some water, let it sit in the bag for 15 to 18 minutes, and then grab a long spoon and chow down. And then after that, I'm gonna chill by the lake for a bit, have a fire, and relax, go to bed, probably fairly early, and try and get up early tomorrow morning and see what we can do about the sunrise and stuff like that. It looks amazing here when the sun is first coming up and the lake is really calm and stuff. So we'll see if we can see some of that tomorrow morning. But for tonight, most of the work is done that I'm going to do tonight anyway. It's time to chill.